Saturday, February 10th, the Lion Channel. I'm John. Couple new manifestations I want to talk about that have happened. But first, I got major sun today and I had sunglasses on. A little more sun than I thought I was getting. But it's a gorgeous day out. And also, there's some I'm not sure you can see it, but there's some stuff in the background. You might see it throughout the video, but my daughter's room is being painted, so we had to move some of her stuff into our room. So that's what's in the background. So anyway, my new manifestations. I was eating a hot sausage sandwich last night, and it's my favorite thing in the world. Like, my wife would ask me for Father's Day and for my birthday, what do you want for dinner? And I would normally say to her, why are you even asking me that question? Because it's obviously hot sausage. I just love hot sausage sandwiches. And about a year or two ago, I started realizing that after I would eat hot sausage sandwiches, I was having some struggles internally. And it got to the point where it was no longer worth it. As much as I loved hot sausage sandwiches, the pain that I would have to endure and the struggle that I would have to go through afterwards was not worth it. So my favorite food on the planet, I couldn't eat anymore. I had to give up. And so for the last year and a half, there were no hot foods, no spicy foods. I just stayed away from it. And I love spicy foods, but hot sausage is my favorite. And then April 3rd, I started falling asleep and the wish fulfilled. And on Easter, I believe it was April 20th, my wife had made, we had family over for Easter, and my wife had made hot sausage, because other people like hot sausage. And normally I'll look at it and say, man, I wish I could eat that. But on this particular instance, I looked at it and something told me, try it out, see what happens. And so I had hot sausage and I had no issues afterwards, nothing. And since, I've eaten hot sausage probably 3 or 4 times, and I've eaten some spicy foods, I'm completely fine. It's like magic or a miracle. But I know better because, of all the other things that are happening. That's as good, to me, that's as good as $1 million. Being able to eat your favorite food on the planet again when you couldn't eat it. So that is a great manifestation for me. And also today, this is where I got the sun, by the way, and the color on my face. We went to, my daughter had a friend's birthday party, and it was out horseback riding. And so we were out in the sun, and normally, as I said, I'm not a very social person, but I wound up talking to this guy was wearing a Minnesota Timberwolves jersey. And normally when you ask somebody, most of the time when I ask somebody, about their jersey, they're just like, oh, I got it as a gift or something like that. But it turned out this guy was from Minnesota and he's a huge Timberwolves fan. And so we got to talking, And it turns out that he's really into sports, so much so that, in the future, I actually might have him on, depending on, how this channel progresses. I might turn it into, maybe a show with me and him we were talking about, because our views on sports are so opposite. Like anything that I would say, he was kind of the opposite. So I brought up a point that, our show, we could do a show on ESPN. But he has some things that, his line of work that he could actually he's a manifestation. Because this kind of stuff just doesn't happen where you go out to a birthday party and you meet somebody who has, those kinds of interests, and everything just kind of jived like that. So there you go. I don't know what's going to come from it. Like I said, I might have him on. I don't know, but I have a good feeling, that he's now in my life for a reason, just like this other guy who contacted me last week and, said that he can help my channel grow. We haven't set anything up yet, but that's coming as well. All right. So to go over again, this is my manifesting journey, but I also want to continually just keep sharing the process, like what I did when I was in a deep, dark depression, and it was April 3rd, and I was screaming at the universe, and I was, wasn't sure if I wanted to be here anymore. I found the video. I did what it said. I closed my eyes. I took some deep breaths, and I just watched my thoughts for 5 or 10 minutes. And I realized that my thoughts were 9 out of 10 thoughts were negative, fear, doubt, worry. And so I tried the law of assumption, falling asleep in the wish fulfilled, and just, falling asleep in the wish fulfilled as thinking about who I wanted to be, the things that I wanted to have, and falling asleep as if I already had those things. Even though I was laying in this bed, I was imagining that I was in a different house, and I had, all of the things like in my house were different, and I assumed that feeling, and I've done it every single night since that night, and I've just noticed huge changes that can just keep happening. So that's all I did. And then also it helps me during the day to realize and to take on the perspective that this is all just a simulation. Because, you're creating your world in here. And so this is just a projection of what is going on in here. So when I realized that I was creating my world by the thoughts that I was thinking during the day, and then taking that into my sleep state, and that's what I was impressing the subconscious mind with, that gave me the perspective of someone who ended up in a deep depression. Because even though I have certain things and my life looks good from the outside, that's not what I was seeing from the inside. So, just start doing that tonight. Okay, if you're watching these videos and you haven't done what I'm saying, your life can change. By my life started to change basically the next day. I woke up the next morning, and I haven't said this yet, but I was on the phone with my mom last night, and she was mentioning to me that Eckhart Tolle was kind of in, I guess I'll go on a little further here, because she started talking about Denzel Washington and how Denzel Washington was saying, like, you need to reach a place where you're in such a dark night of the soul. And that's normally when, major changes happen. And then so she was talking about what is happening with me and remembering what Denzel Washington said. And then we also got into Eckhart Tolle somehow. And I guess he was kind of in a similar place where he was having thoughts of leaving this world and went to sleep. And I think she said he woke up and he just kind of had an awakening. And the colors that he was seeing were a lot brighter, and everything was just popping because he gained a new perspective. And I remember that reminded me the first night that I went to sleep, I woke, practicing and applying the law of assumption. I woke up the next morning and I have art of my daughters on my wall. And I rolled out of bed and her art was popping. Like it was the first thing that my attention went to, where the colors looked so much brighter and different. And that was the first night, woke up the next morning. So I'm not sure it happens like that for everybody, but that's how it happened for me. And if it could happen like that for me, it could happen like that for you. And if it can happen this fast for me, in 5 or 6 weeks, things have just kind of really changed in my world. It can do the same for you. So, but whether you do or not, that's up to you. All I can do is make the videos and share the information and my experience, and then it's up to you to apply it. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoy your night, Saturday night. I will not be treating this Saturday night like I did last week. As I said, I got to adjust some things there and learn from that experience. But I love you all, and I will talk to you tomorrow. See you.